Before you think you know Nigeria, watch this first. This is Taste the World with Thomas, and today we're heading to Nigeria, one of the most surprising and misunderstood countries on Earth. You might think you know Africa's most populous nation, but trust me, these 25 facts will flip everything you thought you knew. From twin villages and sacred forests to insane street food prices and luxury weddings that rival royal events, Nigeria is full of extremes. Whether you're here for culture, travel tips, or raw truth, you're in for a wild ride. Hit that like button and let's uncover the mind-blowing reality of Nigeria together. Nigeria has a whistling language you've probably never heard of. In the quiet hills of northeastern Nigeria, some locals don't just speak, they whistle. Among the Gwari people, a rare whistling language is still used to communicate across valleys, dense forests, or even in secret. It mimics the tonal patterns of spoken words, allowing entire sentences to be conveyed using nothing but lips and air. Hunters use it to coordinate in the wild, and children learn it young as a playful secret code. While this form of communication is fading, it remains a stunning reminder of Nigeria's cultural depth, where even silence can speak volumes. The country with the most twins in the entire world. Welcome to Igbo Ora, a small town in southwest Nigeria, known as the twin capital of the world. Scientists are still baffled, but this sleepy farming community has the highest rate of twin births on the planet. Walk through the market and you'll spot twins everywhere, shopping, playing, or dressed identically by proud parents. Locals believe their traditional diet, rich in yams and a special leafy vegetable called ilasa, plays a role. Whatever the reason, twins here are not seen as strange. They're celebrated as blessings. In Nigeria, 2 is definitely better than 1. A village where people live in ancient huts with Wi-Fi. In Nsukka, a UNESCO World Heritage Site tucked in the Mandara Mountains, people still live in ancient stone huts, passed down through generations. These mud and rock dwellings date back hundreds of years, but don't let the rustic vibe fool you. Incredibly, some of these remote homes now have solar panels, powering smartphones and even Wi-Fi routers. It's the perfect fusion of tradition and technology. Goats wander past crumbling shrines, while teenagers stream TikToks from inside clay walls. Nsukka proves that in Nigeria, the past and future don't just coexist, they're neighbors. Nollywood produces more films than Hollywood. Yes, really. Think Hollywood is the king of cinema? Think again. Nigeria's film industry, known as Nollywood, is the second largest in the world by volume, surpassing even Hollywood. It cranks out over 2,500 movies each year, many filmed in just days with micro budgets and big imagination. These films are raw, emotional, and wildly popular across Africa and the diaspora. Whether it's romantic drama, spiritual warfare, or family comedy, Nollywood reflects real Nigerian life with unfiltered energy. It's fast, it's loud, it's real, and it's taking over screens one homemade masterpiece at a time. The sacred forest, where it's forbidden to be angry. Just outside the city of Osogbo lies the sacred grove of Osum, a mystical forest filled with ancient sculptures, shrines, and whispering spirits. It's one of the last remaining sacred forests in Nigeria and a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But here's the twist. Inside the grove, showing anger is strictly forbidden. Locals say that those who enter with a foul mood risk being cursed or spiritually unsettled. Visitors speak in hushed tones, and even disputes are paused at the gates. It's not just a religious site. It's a living, breathing peace zone, guarded by centuries of Yoruba tradition. You can live comfortably in Nigeria for under $500 a month. In Nigeria, your dollar stretches surprisingly far if you know where to go. In mid-sized cities like Ibadan or Enugu, $400 to $500 a month can cover rent, utilities, transportation, and a healthy dose of jollof rice. A basic one-bedroom apartment, around $150. Local markets offer fresh produce and street food for mere cents. Of course, prices vary depending on lifestyle, but for digital nomads or adventurous travelers, Nigeria offers a budget-friendly escape with rich culture and warm hospitality. It's one of Africa's most affordable places to experience real urban life. One of the world's cheapest places for organic food and street meat. In Nigeria, fresh food doesn't come in plastic. It comes sizzling, steaming, and straight from the source. Whether it's roadside grilled suya, spiced beef skewers, charcoal roasted plantains, or cassava fresh from the farm, organic eating is just normal and cheap. For less than $2, you can have a full, hearty meal made with locally grown ingredients and bold, traditional spices. There's no need for fancy organic labels here. Nigerians have been eating clean long before it became a trend. It's street food with soul, and you won't need a gold card to enjoy it. Lagos is more expensive than Dubai in surprising ways. Lagos, Nigeria's economic powerhouse, is loud, fast, and shockingly expensive. A furnished apartment in a posh neighborhood like Victoria Island can run over $2,000 a month. Want to sip coffee at an upscale cafe? That'll be $6,000. In fact, imported goods, international schools, and even hair extensions can cost more than they do in Dubai or New York. Outside Lagos, the same services might cost 80% less. Lagos is a city of extremes, where millionaires and market traders live side by side, and luxury has a steeper price tag than you might expect. Nigerian weddings can cost more than a house. Weddings in Nigeria are no joke. For many families, they're not just ceremonies, they're status symbols. A typical high-end wedding can cost anywhere from $20,000 to over $100,000, with expenses pouring into outfits, catering, decor, venue, and traditional rites. Guests often show up in coordinated clothing called aso ebi, and money is sprayed literally on the couple as they dance. It's a blend of glam, culture, and serious financial planning. Some people even go into debt to fund the big day. Because in Nigeria, a wedding isn't just about love, it's about legacy. I want a haircut and a $300 designer suit, same street. On the streets of Abuja or Lagos, contrast is everywhere. Walk a single block and you'll find a roadside barber charging $1 for a crisp fade, next door to a boutique selling $300 tailored designer suits. In Nigeria, luxury and affordability exist side by side, often on the same pavement. It's a place where someone might hop off a motorbike taxi wearing Italian leather shoes or sip coconut water outside a Louis Vuitton showroom. This isn't contradiction, it's culture. A country where hustle meets heritage and everyone finds their level in the chaos. women in Nigeria are taking over one industry you'd never expect. In Nigeria's bustling markets and business centers, women dominate one surprising field: transportation. From motorbike taxis known as Okadas to long-distance bus driving, more Nigerian women are shattering gender roles behind the wheel. In cities like Abuja and Onitsha, women now work as full-time commercial drivers, competing in what was once a male-only profession. Some are single mothers, others entrepreneurs, but all are bold. They've even formed female-only taxi companies to make travel safer for women. In a society rooted in tradition, these women are steering change, literally and figuratively. Nigeria is home to the world's largest floating slum. Makoko, often called the Venice of Africa, is a massive floating slum built over Lagos Lagoon. Thousands of wooden shacks stand on stilts above water, connected by narrow canoes instead of roads. With no formal sewage system or electricity grid, it may seem like a place of despair, but it's also a thriving, self-organized community. Families fish, trade, and even attend floating schools. Tourists are now visiting Makoko by boat, drawn to its resilience and human spirit. In Nigeria, even the toughest environments are filled with creativity, survival, and quiet dignity. The ancient tribe that paints its faces to talk to the spirits. Deep in northern Nigeria, among the Wadabe people, beauty isn't just skin deep, it's spiritual. During the annual Gerawal festival, men paint their faces with striking red, white, and yellow patterns to attract women and impress the spirits. They perform elaborate dances, stretching smiles and rolling eyes to show off charm and stamina. It's more than a mating ritual. It's a sacred celebration of heritage and identity. Among the Wadabe, beauty is divine, and tradition is alive in every flick of paint and flicker of the eyes. How Nigerians celebrate Christmas with fire and thunder. Forget silent nights. Nigerian Christmas is loud, colorful, and unforgettable. Streets fill with music, families roast whole goats, and kids run through clouds of homemade firecrackers called banger. In cities and villages alike, locals celebrate with dance contests, masquerades, and open-air church services that last all night. Some towns even hold mock wars with fireworks and drumming. And while Santa hats are worn, they're often paired with traditional Ankara prints. It's a holiday season like no other, where faith meets festivity and the party doesn't stop until the new year explodes. Nigeria's most loved breakfast is made with beans and banana. It might sound odd, but in Nigeria, a classic breakfast is all about contrasts: sweet, savory, soft, and spicy. Meet moi moi and dodo, a fluffy steamed bean pudding served alongside fried ripe plantains. It's protein-packed, rich in flavor, and found everywhere, from street stalls to luxury hotels. Locals love it for its energy, affordability, and comfort. Add a cup of pape, fermented corn porridge, or spicy pepper sauce, and you've got a morning meal that keeps you full until sundown. In Nigeria, breakfast is not just a routine, it's a cultural statement. Nigeria has over 500 languages and one secret language for lovers. Nigeria isn't just multilingual, it's a linguistic universe. Over 500 distinct languages are spoken across its regions, from Hausa in the north to Yoruba in the west and Igbo in the east. But tucked among them is something truly unique, a secret language used by lovers. Known as TIV love codes, these whispered phrases are used to flirt without anyone else understanding. In crowded markets or around nosy elders, young Nigerians can have entire romantic conversations in plain sight. In Nigeria, language isn't just for communication, it's for creativity, culture, and sometimes quiet seduction. A country where you can find snow without cold weather. Nigeria may be tropical, but in one remote location, it can look like it just snowed. In parts of Enugu state, particularly in the mining town of Eva Valley, you'll find hills covered in fine, white dust, remnants of coal and limestone extraction. Under sunlight, the powder reflects brightly, creating an eerie, snow-like illusion. Locals even nickname it Niger Snow. While it's not cold to the touch, it creates a surreal contrast, palm trees and white hills in the same frame. In Nigeria, the unexpected isn't rare, it's part of the landscape. Nigerian royal families still exist, and they're powerful. Modern Nigeria may be a republic, but its royal families still hold serious influence. From the Oba of Benin to the Sultan of Sokoto, traditional rulers command deep respect, cultural authority, and even political power. Their palaces are grand, their titles sacred, and their presence often more trusted than elected officials. Royal weddings are national events, and kings are still crowned with ancient rituals passed down for centuries. In towns and cities alike, the monarchy lives on, not just as history, but as a living pillar of identity and pride. Kids learn to dance before they can walk, literally. In Nigeria, rhythm isn't taught, it's inherited. From Lagos to Kano, children grow up surrounded by drums, Afrobeat, and non-stop celebration. Videos of toddlers dancing with perfect timing and hip movements often go viral, but it's no surprise to locals. Dance is woven into daily life, used in worship, protests, storytelling, and joy. Schools teach it, families encourage it, and entire communities move as one during festivals. For Nigerian kids, dancing isn't just fun. It's a cultural instinct, a form of expression, and in many cases, the first language they ever learn. The underground church hidden in a mountain. Beneath the rocky terrain of Jos, central Nigeria, lies a secret place of worship, an underground church carved directly into the mountain. Originally built during periods of religious tension, this hidden sanctuary allowed Christians to gather safely, away from violence and persecution. Today, it still functions as a place of reflection, prayer, and peace. Torches and lanterns light the cavern walls, while songs echo in the cool stone air. In a country rich with both faith and conflict, this church is a symbol of silent strength and unshakable belief. Nigeria has the world's youngest billionaire royal. Meet Prince Arthur Ease, a royal businessman from Anambra State, whose family legacy and oil empire made him one of Africa's wealthiest traditional leaders. But even more astonishing, some royal families in Nigeria have heirs so young they inherit titles and wealth before finishing school. In one famous case, a 10-year-old was crowned a traditional ruler after his father passed, complete with palace, guards, and advisors. In Nigeria, royalty is real, influential, and sometimes barely tall enough to reach the throne. Age doesn't stop the crown. It just makes the story more legendary. Women in rural Nigeria can marry other women legally. In certain Nigerian ethnic groups like the Igbo and Yoruba, a woman can traditionally marry another woman, not romantically, but socially and economically. This centuries-old custom allows a childless or widowed woman to take a wife who then bears children in her name. It's a powerful form of lineage preservation and economic partnership. In these communities, gender roles are flexible, and social motherhood carries full respect. While modern Nigeria debates LGBTQ+ issues, this indigenous practice quietly proves that gender and family have always been more complex than we think. This Nigerian market never closes, 24/7 for generations. Kano's Kurmi market is one of Africa's oldest trading hubs, and it never sleeps. For generations, this massive bazaar has operated 24/7, rain or shine, selling everything from spices and fabric to cell phones and livestock. By day, it's a chaos of color and noise. By night, lanterns flicker as deals are made under the stars. Families pass down stalls like heirlooms, and some vendors haven't taken a holiday in decades. In a fast-changing world, Kurmi's rhythm stays the same, open all day, every day, because in Nigeria, business never takes a break. Nigeria has a sacred fish that locals refuse to eat. In the town of Argungu, fish swim freely in the river, but don't even think about catching them. Locals believe these fish are sacred, protected by ancestral spirits that punish those who harm them. Once a year, however, thousands gather for the Argungu festival, where fishing is allowed for just 1 hour. Men dive into the water barehanded, trying to catch the biggest fish without nets or hooks. The winner earns fame, cash, and community pride. But the rest of the year? Those fish are off limits. In Nigeria, even animals have holy status. Why so many Nigerians smile in the face of chaos? From traffic jams that last for hours to frequent power outages and political drama, Nigeria can be chaotic. But one thing you'll always notice: people smile. Loud, genuine, unshakable smiles. Nigerians have mastered the art of resilience, finding humor in hardship, community in crisis, and dance in every downpour. Whether it's singing in traffic or joking during fuel shortages, their optimism isn't naivety, it's a survival skill. In a country full of contradictions, this one stands out the most. No matter what's happening, Nigeria still finds a reason to laugh. What surprised you most about Nigeria? Let's talk in the comments. Nigeria is a land of contrasts, sacred and chaotic, ancient and electric, full of beauty, rhythm, and raw humanity. These 25 facts barely scratch the surface of what this incredible country holds. If you were surprised, inspired, or just curious for more, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button to support the journey, subscribe to Taste the World with Thomas for more untold global stories, and drop a comment. Which Nigerian fact blew your mind the most? I read every one. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious, stay kind, and keep tasting the world.